Hey guys, Tom back here. Haven't been on in a while, so figure I would come on, say hello, show some records, see how everyone's doing, all that. Hope everyone's doing well. Beginning of summer, finally. Cheers, by the way, drinking iced coffee in a Coke glass, cause you know, cool like that. Yeah, so hope everyone's doing well. I said beginning to be summer, so starting to just spend more time outside. I haven't been really listening to too much recently, so been doing a lot more digging, or at least trying to. Haven't been finding too much recently, unfortunately. Not been having much luck, but you know how it is. It's always up and down, but yeah, it's enough rambling. Let's just get into the music. So this is what we're listening to. If you could hear it, Marion Brown, Marion Brown in Sommerhausen, Germany. This is a German release on Calig from 1969. Pretty good lineup on this. Considering where is the lineup? Well, apparently there's no lineup on the back. I know Steve McCall's on this. Gene Lee. Oh, there it is. Gene Lee, Marion Brown, Gunter Hampel, Ambrose Jackson, Daniel Lalu, who I haven't heard of him before, and Steve McCall, like I said. So, pretty good lineup overall. I'm not in love with this record, actually. I thought I would like it a lot more than I do. I haven't. This is a rip who we're listening to, so that's why. Yeah, I figured. I don't think I'm gonna be keeping it, so I kind of ripped it in case I want to listen to it again. But I don't know. I might change my mind. Might not. Anyways, right now this is up for sale, for grab, whatever. I listened to it a few times already, but don't love it. Kind of the same thing with this next one here. Donald Byrd, A New Perspective. Bands and Voices. Yeah, I don't. It's kind of like a hard bop gospel record, I guess, from Donald Byrd. I know a lot of people love this record. For me, I could do without. There's a gospel choir on it, I guess, and I don't know. It's not really my favorite. I'm not really a fan of gospel to begin with, especially gospel choir. It's not really, I don't know, my thing. The lineup on here is amazing, though. The music is great. So you have Donald Byrd, Hank Mobley, sorry. Donald Best on Vibes, Kenny Burrell, Herbie Hancock, Butch Warren, Lex Humphreys on drums, arranged by Duke Pearson. Yeah, so awesome lineup. Like I said, I like the music on this. Really, really cool. Kind of a mix of hard bop. Definitely some modal passages on here as well. So that was cool. But the vocals are just not really not my thing. So it is a first pressing, I believe. Mono, New York, USA, with the Plastilite ear and all that deep groove goodness. But yeah, another one that's probably going to be up for grabs is I don't know, not really feeling it like that. So let me know if anyone's interested. I usually like Donald Byrd too. I love most of his stuff. It's just that one, for some reason, wasn't my favorite. I'll show you Donald Byrd album that I do like a lot. I have been listening to, which I do have an extra copy of as well. Actually, is Ethiopian Nights. This is Donald Byrd. I like jazzy, funky. I know that one was recorded earlier. This was a '70s record, but still, this is probably my favorite Donald Byrd record overall. But this is sort of different than that. But yeah, this is Donald Byrd I do like. So just thought I'd throw that out there. All right, next up here, one that I was able to get from my friend Jeff. Thank you, man. Happen to see this. I think he did a trade for this. I don't remember exactly, but Lloyd McNeil. Treasures, almost complete with my Lloyd McNeil collection. All I need is the one with Marshall Hawkins. One's the white cover on it. I can never remember the name of it, but that's the one I need. yeah, it's always overpriced, expensive. But fantastic flute, lead jazz, soul jazz, post bop, fusion. There's some like a Brazilian track on here, a Latin track on here. There's definitely some Latin influences for sure. But yeah, Lloyd McNeil, Don Salvador, Cecil McBee. So what's on here? Portino, Brian Brake on drums, and Ray Armando on percussion. Very percussion, kind of percussion driven, and flute, but I love it. I love Lloyd McNeil in general, so I think it's great. This isn't a new record, it's one I've been listening to a lot, but Life Force by Abdullah. Yeah, just amazing, in my opinion, amazing 70s spiritual jazz, or Ahmad Abdullah, this is his full name. But there's a lineup right there if you can't. When I just stopped that, check it out. But amazing jazz record in my opinion. On About Time Records, and unfortunately very short-lived label. They didn't put out too many records, but everything they put out was great. Including this. A lot of stuff was similar to this, kind of both structured and free rhythm, kind of free jazz stuff. Yeah, I'd highly recommend this. I think I've talked about that one before, actually. Could be wrong. I don't know. This is one I got a few months back. I just don't think I ever showed it. More than a few months, actually. I think I got this around April now. Yeah, fantastic jazz rock. Kind of hitting on post-bop and free jazz at times, too. This is a promo copy. Actually, yeah, but Jack Bruce from, what is it? Cream? I think, and other groups, too. I'm sure I'm not really familiar with his other work, but this is amazing. I love this record. Curious if he has anything else similar to this. If you guys know, let me know. The other stuff I heard from him hasn't been really up to par with this, in my opinion, at least. Another couple records that I was just missing from Colin Walcott, including Cadona 2. This is the last Cadona record I needed to complete the trio. Just a great mix of like world fusion, African avant-garde jazz, free jazz. If you guys know Cadona, you know what to expect from this. It's on ECM. If you know who Cadona is, it's a trio of Don Cherry, Colin Walcott, and Nana Vasconcelos. Yeah, like I said, just amazing world jazz, I guess world fusion, best way to describe it, but definitely got some African influences and mixed in with jazz, so I love it. I think it's amazing. This is from 81, although it sounds like it could be from 70s, whenever. It just sounds great. Another Colin Walcott I actually never had, Cloud Dance. This is his, actually I don't know if it's his first record or second record, but I think it's his first record. So Colin Walcott plays sitar and tabla, John Abercrombie on guitar, Dave Howard on bass, Jack DeJohnette on drums. This is a little bit different than his previous work, or his previous record I just showed. Kind of mix of like Hindustani, I think they call it Hindustani classical. To like Hindu and Pakistani, obviously classical music, mixed with jazz and post-bop jazz, so kind of like world fusion once again, I guess. So a little bit similar, but yeah, different. I don't think this one as experimental, if I remember correctly, as out there. Although it still has that fantastic tabla sound, which I love Colin Walcott for. I just love that sound, the kind of, I don't know, Eastern vibe of Pakistani music, Hindu music, Indian music, you know, all that stuff. This one's from 70s, I think, 75, yeah. So also on ECM though. One record that I got from friend Chris Cole, thank you, sir. I know I had this from you a while back, but I'm finally getting around to showing it. Antithesis. I think this is just self-titled, Antithesis. This is from 1973 on Arise Records. Yeah, very plain orange label, but I love the cover on this. Nothing too crazy, but the lettering is just cool, and just, I don't know, I just love the layout and stuff. Pretty simple as well, but the music itself is basically just free jazz, post-pop, I guess spiritual jazz, but for lack of a better word, but just go check it out. Go check out the track Haze's Dance, excuse me. It's probably the most well-known and well-loved track on this. The whole thing is fantastic, in my opinion. Don't mind the little bear sticker up here. I just put this on the sleeve because it was sticky. It had a price sticker on it, so I just put that on there so it wouldn't, it's not actually part of the sleeve, sorry. I confused someone with that, but yeah, awesome lineup on here. If you want to check it out, there you go. So I don't mispronounce any of the names. You can check that out, but another high recommendation right here for me. Spiritual jazz, I guess, but it's definitely much more than that, so go check it out. Next up here, I did pick up a copy of Blameful Isles, Daniel's record from the BC. Thank you, sir. If you happen to see this, excellent album once again. Longer record this time, 2 LPs. Very beautiful packaging too. I love the packaging with the poem written by Chris Cole himself. So that was really cool. But I love the packaging on this. This is just beautiful, and the music matches. It's called Pleroma. I believe that's how you pronounce it, Pleroma. Sort of a different mix of styles, I guess, from one LP to the other. The first one's more kind of, I guess, similar to their previous release, in my opinion. Kind of more fantastic, contemporary, modern, avant-garde jazz. That's what I love them for. Definitely Coltrane-esque at times. Free jazz, you know, modal stuff. The second record, I should say, is definitely more electronic-y. Maybe a bit more laid back, maybe a bit more chilled. I prefer the A side personally, or the A side, the first record. I always mess that up. Yeah, the first record. I love them both. The whole album is great, but personally, I love that sound more. I think it just connected with me more. The second record was definitely cool. It was great. It was nice to hear something else, you know, being done. I'm sure you've done that before, Daniel, but it sounded like something new from you, so I don't know if it's just how I feel. The whole thing was fantastic, though, for sure. So thank you for the music. This was great. So next up here, a huge grail, huge one knocked off my list. I posted this on Instagram and on Facebook, so if you follow me there, you've definitely seen it. And I showed it in my last video too, for Jonas's contest, but the East New York Ensemble de Music at the helm on Folkways Records from 1974. Just an amazing mix of like fusion, African, Asian, kind of Eastern, Middle Eastern music. I don't know how to describe this, just rhythmic Afro jazz mixed with I don't want to say world music, but everything I just named, like African, Asian, Middle Eastern type stuff. So basically what it is. They do a great cover of Sunflower on here. There's one track that's like a Turkish religious melody. Yeah, Freddie Hubbard does Sunflower originally. Sorry, I couldn't think of the name, but there's the label. I don't know if I showed it or not, but Blue Label. I believe the reissue. There's a reissue of this, which is getting hard to find now too. But reissue as a white label, I think. But amazing. I can't believe I finally have this. Been after this for years and picked it up a while back. Not sure if I shared this one before or not. This was one of my FMU finds. This is the Otari Oki Trio with, I'm going to butcher his name, Sachushin Kayoshitsu. Anyway, it translates to Homicide Classroom, or Homicide in the Classroom. Kind of a crazy title, considering what's happening in the US right now, but this is 1970 on the Jazz Creators label. I think this is their own label. I think this is like the only record on the label, or a handful of records, I don't know. Small label, but very early Japanese free jazz. including a bit of like ethnic Japanese instruments that they play on here too, which is really cool. I love hearing that. Yeah, definitely. It's definitely out there. Definitely gets out there at times. So there's another record from them called Trumpet in Modern Jazz, I believe it is, which is a bit more in. I want to say this one's definitely a bit more out there. I would recommend both of them though. This is their first record. Harder to find for sure, but if you're into free jazz, Japanese free jazz, especially, and you know you're into out there stuff, then I would definitely recommend this for sure. Itaru Oki Trio. Yeah, since I didn't do like an FMU video this year, I figured I would just throw them in random videos. So a couple more here from FMU. The Water Bears, the Cosmic Twins, yeah, on Strata-East from 1974, I believe. Yeah, 1974. It's fantastic modal, spiritual jazz stuff, you know, kind of your, I don't want to say typical Strata-East sound, but that's what it is, just amazing jazz. Done by Ron Burton and John Lewis, who have had other albums after this, but none of them compare to this, in my opinion. None of them are as good. Yeah, this is definitely quite a desirable record on Strata-East. It took me a number of years to find as well, but really happy to finally get it, and get a really clean copy too, for a decent price. So. Another one, Stanley Cowell Musa, Ancestral Streams from '74 once again. This is probably the best solo piano record I've ever heard, in my opinion. It's just beautiful. That's all I have to say about that. Just the best solo record, solo piano stuff. And I'm not always a fan. I love piano, but I'm not always a fan of solo records, especially solo piano. But check out that gatefold too. Really, really cool. Love the artwork on this. But yeah, this is amazing. I don't remember who someone described it as like a soundtrack that could be to like put to like a Japanese anime. I think that's great. You know, it's perfect description for this. I don't know, some people might disagree with that, but I think it's a very fitting description, and I just love this. If you don't like solo piano, this might change your mind. This might be the album that changes your mind, so give it a listen. I think that's it for the FMU finds for this video. Yeah, I'll jump into some other stuff here. So we have Arzar Lawrence, Bridge into the New Age. Another white label promo. This is on Prestige. I think it's from the mid-70s, 74 again. I think the last 4 records have been from 74. But yeah, very cool, very soulful, sort of soulful, funky post-pop, but also mixed with elements of Cuban, Afro-Cuban, like Latin stuff. Great vocals too. Vocals from Jean Carn on here, which I believe this was, yeah, during the same time she was doing the black jazz stuff, so it's right in that pocket from 74. Really, really cool. Yeah, music is, like I said, just like all over the place, kind of spiritual fusion, if that's a term. It is now, because it's very soulful, funky jazz mixed with avant-garde at times. Really cool. Yeah, definitely check this out if you don't know it. Sorry, I just get distracted by the vocals of Gene Lee here. I'm still not sure how to feel about this. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think if you could hear the background music. Anyway, next up here are a couple records I just picked up while I was in New York recently. Clifford Jordan, In the World, one I didn't have from him. Really happy to grab this counterpart to Glass Beat Games, I guess. This is from 72. Not traditional Strata-East label on this one, just the white one. But very cool. 2 differing lineups on this. So you have Clifford Jordan, and then Julian Priester, Don Cherry, Wynton Kelly, Wilbur Ware, Richard Davis, and Al Heath. And then Don Cherry is replaced with Kenny Dorham on the other side. Al Heath is replaced with Roy Haynes and Ed Blackwell. So for the other side, so fantastic lineup as you can hear, and music is great. You know, just as you can probably imagine, a nice mix of like that kind of in the pocket free jazz, but hard bop, post bop type stuff. So probably not as out as not experimental, or not as good as some people say his Glass Beat Games, but I think they're both great. But this one's definitely more in the pocket, like I just said. So both are worth checking out, though, for sure. The other one I picked up right along with that, Nathan Davis, Makatuka. I always mess up the name. It's a label. This is from 70, I think it's 71, 72, something like that, I want to say. But great. Rest in peace to Nathan Davis, by the way. It's very sad when he passed away. I didn't have too much of his work to begin with, so I just happened across this when I was in New York, and I got it for a really good price too. I think like $50. I got it in a package deal. So, but yeah, avant-garde jazz, post-bop, avant-garde, really emotional, emotive playing. Man, I don't listen to Nathan Davis enough, and unfortunately I realized that after he passed away, which is really sad, but that's how it is. Yeah, if you want to check out the lineup on here, there you go. You guys can pause that if you want. Actually, not too many well-known players on here, which is really cool. Actually, you always kind of hear about the same guys playing the style of music, but this was something different. Nathan Davis definitely always had his own style, had his own crew. So we definitely played with some of the more well-known guys, but yeah, this was just great. This is just amazing. He played with at all sorts of places, all sorts of different people. He had plenty of records out there for you to check out. So go listen to some Nathan Davis and remember his music. All right, just a few more here. I know I'm taking a while, so I'm gonna end it off. One that was sent to me by the homie Rob, Late Bloober. Yeah, this is on Instagram, I think it's on Facebook as well. But I needed this record, didn't have this for the longest time. Really happy to finally have this from 1970 on Impulse, The Awakening by the Ahmad Jamal Trio. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, fantastic sort of, how do we describe this? Deep jazz, like modal jazz, post-bop, kind of remaking some jazz standards in his own way. I guess the best way to describe it. The title track is his own track, by the way, The Awakening, composed by him. But the other, actually I think most of the tracks on here, he's just remaking more well-known jazz tracks for other composers. But it's still fantastic. Definitely one of my favorite as far as piano trio stuff goes. I'm sure there's more I could say about that, but I'm sure I'm running out of time and you guys don't want to watch me for another 20 minutes, so let's just finish this up. So these last three here, I got a trade with Chris Cole. I think it was just three. The Awakening, Hear, Sense, and Feel. This is another one that's a white label promo. Sort of a funky Afrocentric jazz. It's the best way to describe this, but black jazz, you guys probably know what to expect from black jazz. Yeah, still need their other record, but almost done with the black jazz catalog actually, so this was really cool. Thank you, Chris. One that I've wanted for a long time, was able to find for a good deal, is Will Crittenden and the Afro Jazz Ensemble with Message from the Third World. This is from '68 on Reynard, which I really didn't know this label at all. I don't know if it's his own label or what, but sort of very sparse sounding, I guess, Afro Jazz. It's great, but definitely really sparse. So if that's not your thing, might not be for you. I'm trying to find the lineup on here, but I don't see it. Yeah, you guys can look it up if you're really interested, but sorry, I'm running out of time, so I'm trying to. And the last one here, Nathan Page with Page 2. I've been after this one for a while, for the longest time. This is probably my favorite record from Nathan Page. The kind of soul jazzy, I guess, is the best way to describe it, but just amazing. From 1978. Sort of a plain label there, but I love that logo, whatever. But Nathan Page, Page 2, definitely my favorite record from him. That's it, running out of space on my SD card, so I'll be back, I guess I don't know when, with another video, but thank you for watching. Take care, everyone. Peace.